Hi friends, welcome back. So today I'm bringing you guys another video, and this is going to be the most exciting video, 100% hands down, that I've ever filmed on my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my birth story. My due date was October 17th, which was actually yesterday, and I gave birth October 5th. If you guys don't follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, you probably wouldn't know that I already gave birth. But I did, and that's where I've been for the last, I guess, 2-ish weeks. I'm not really sure. So I do have, this is the bassinet right here in the corner. You can't see the whole thing, but I do have my daughter right here hanging out. And I'm just like so excited to introduce you guys to her. So I started going into labor on October 3rd, which is Mean Girls Day. Shout out to Mean Girls Day. And basically, I was in labor the entire day and didn't realize it until the end of the day. So right now I say that I was in labor for 33 hours, but in reality it was a lot more than that. I just didn't know until like 6 p.m. at night. I just thought I was having random pain, and at night around 6 p.m. me and my husband, were watching, I think, The Big Bang Theory. And I noticed that my pain kept coming and going. So once I realized that they were coming and they were pretty steady, I started to time them, and they were 10 minutes apart, and it was like consistently 10 minutes apart. And I moved around a lot because they tell you, you know, it could be Braxton Hicks contractions. That's hard to say. And if they are Braxton Hicks contractions, if you move around, they would go away. And so I moved around a lot, changed my position, and it was still every 10 minutes. I turned to my husband and I was like, hey, so I'm pretty sure I'm in labor. He was kind of in shock, but we were very prepared. We had our bag like all ready to go, which, by the way, we ended up using pretty much nothing in that bag. We basically had everything ready to go. We had the car seat installed, which, thank God, I think we installed it like the day that I went into labor, that I started going into like early labor. That's the day that we installed the car seat, so like, thank God. The doctors always tell you to wait until your contractions are 5 minutes apart, and that lasts for an hour. And wait, what is it? 5 minutes apart, and they have to be 5 minutes apart for at least an hour, and they have to be a minute long. So my husband and I decided to just go to sleep, or I guess attempt to go to sleep, because I could not go to sleep. My contractions, they were hurting me. And it wasn't until about like 4:30 in the morning that I realized that they were 5 minutes apart, and it was already for an hour, and they were a minute long. So I was like, all right, great. And this is now October 4th. So I jumped to the shower first, woke up my husband. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go take a shower, like get your life together, because we're about to go have a baby. And he woke up and started, you know, gathering all our stuff. And once I hopped out the shower, it was like immediate, like we went to the hospital. When I went in to the hospital and checked in, my cervix was only 1 centimeter dilated, which is nothing at all. So they sent me home. They told me to go walk around. They told me to just be as active as possible, to eat, because once I'm actually admitted, I'm not gonna be able to eat anything. And yeah, basically they just told me to come back when the pain is like absolutely unbearable, which I was confused by, because I felt like it already was unbearable. So I was just like, I don't like, what do you, okay. So my brother just came and put his shirt down here because he didn't like that my milkshake was sweating on my furniture. So please forgive that. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh my God. I stayed home and laid on the couch the entire day because the pain was so intense. I don't know how people walk through this pain. It was really intense. Of course, it got more intense as time passed, but I just felt like I couldn't do anything. Actually, I tried to go to sleep. That's what I did. I tried to go to sleep, and it was very unsuccessful because obviously I was in a crap ton of pain. And I think I ended up just watching Big Bang Theory again, because I'm obsessed with Big Bang Theory. Like, who doesn't like Big Bang Theory? So my husband came home, he took a shower. Now we're at about 6 p.m. the next day. So I've been in labor. I've known that I've been in labor for about 24 hours at this point. And the contractions ended up being a lot closer together, like 3 minutes. And that's like really close. So I was like, that's it. Like, we need to go to the hospital, because I cannot live like this anymore. If I'm not like 9 centimeters dilated, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with myself. So we ended up going to the hospital around like 6:30. I would say we were at the hospital, and they checked again, and I was 4 centimeters dilated. So Yeah, so in over 24 hours I was only 4 centimeters dilated, and I was just like, wow, this is great. So I kept on contracting, and every time I felt one coming, it was just like worse and worse and worse. So I knew that I was getting somewhere, and the nurse would come in every so often, and I would say like every like 2-ish hours they would come in and they would check my cervix and see how dilated I was. I went from 4 to 6 pretty quickly. After 6, I was at 8 the next time they checked me. When I was at 8 centimeters though, they had to break my water. My water did not naturally break. I don't know why that is. I have no idea. But at 8 centimeters is when they broke my water, and they said once my water breaks, it would be a lot quicker. I ended up not getting an epidural. And I know this is like, this shocks everybody. Every time I tell anybody that I did not have an epidural, they're like, what do you mean? And I went into it not wanting the epidural, but being open to it, if that makes sense. Like, I expected that it was gonna hurt so much that I was gonna ask for the epidural, but I didn't really want it. And the reason I didn't want it, this is gonna sound like really weird, and even when I told the doctor, she was like, really, that's why? The reason I didn't want the epidural is because it's a gigantic needle and it goes in your back and it scares the crap out of me. Like, it creeps me out. So my doctor came in. I really had like 2 doctors throughout my entire pregnancy. So one of them, the one that was on at that particular time, came in and she was like, let me check, and she checked my cervix. She was like, 10 centimeters, we're ready to go. And I was like, oh my god, this is time. She said, whenever you feel a contraction coming, I need you to push, and push for 10 seconds, stop, and then do it again. It has to be 3 times within like 1 contraction. And I mean, that's kind of hard. That's kind of hard. And she asked me to hold my own legs up, and I was like, I can't do that. Like, I have really large thighs. There's no way I'm grasping my big thighs. Like, it's not gonna happen. So basically other people had to hold my legs up because I was just not about that life. After I pushed the first time, she was like, I don't see anything happening. And then she checked again and she was like, oh no, there's still a little piece of cervix. You're like 9.5 centimeters dilated. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's freaking great. And the more dilated you are, the more your contractions freaking hurt so bad. I was not ready for that at all. Nobody prepared me for that. I was freaking out. I was crying. I was like, I told the doctor, I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Obviously, I had no choice. I had no say in the matter, but you know, I mean, you say dumb things when you're in pain. My husband started crying because of how much I was crying, and he could see how much pain I was in, which I thought was really sweet. But yeah, it was just really intense in that room. And let me tell you, my mom was already at the hospital at this point. And she was like telling everybody, she's like, I have to go in that room. I'm going in that room. And originally I had wanted her in the room, but when I was in the moment, I honestly felt like I was like something out of The Exorcist or something, because I was just like screaming, cursing, crying, like freaking out. And I knew that it just wouldn't be a good idea for her to be there. So at this point, we are like, I would say like 2 o'clock in the morning on October 5th. So total 32 hours in labor. Okay. And I'm 9.5 centimeters dilated. Freaking, I'm like dying every time I have contraction. It is the worst pain ever. So she checked, she was like, that's it, the cervix is gone, like, let's go, let's do this. So again, she was like, I need you to hold your legs up. I was like, girl, that's not gonna happen. And so they held my legs up. There was a whole bunch of people in the room. It was my doctor, the nurse who was like taking care of me throughout the whole time that I was there. And then I would say like 4 other nurses and my husband, of course. And every time I had a contraction, which was like it felt like it was every 2 seconds. Like I had no break. I had to push. From when I was 10 centimeters to when she was delivered was pretty close together. I only pushed for like 20 minutes and she was already like there. Basically, they told me to push like if I was gonna poop. And I honestly thought I was gonna poop. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I can't. I was like, I think I already pooped on the freaking table. I didn't poop. I didn't poop. But I thought like I was going to poop because it just felt like, I mean, I was pushing basically out my butt, you know? So I was pushing for 20 minutes and my husband looked down at some point and honestly, my husband's really entertaining. If you guys ever like get to spend time with him, he's like a really funny, he's funny like when he tries not to be funny. So he looked down and he just said, oh my gosh, And I was like, what? I started freaking out because I was like, what? Like, what's going on? And he was just like, nothing, keep going, keep going. And then I asked him, of course, afterwards, why he said, oh my gosh. And he just said he saw her head coming out of me. And he was not prepared. Yes, so at 2:41 a.m. on October 5th, finally, she came out. And it felt really weird. Like, once she actually came out, it didn't hurt anymore. It just felt weird because it was like a person exiting. It's just really weird. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, because I didn't have the epidural. I feel like I said that weird. Epidural. I had somebody come in and like she was like helping me do, I don't know, like exercises. Like I was sitting on an exercise ball and she was like moving me around and like I guess trying to help labor like go along. And then every time I had a contraction she would like massage my back or like whatever the case is. But I feel like that was actually really helpful. She actually ended up having like really high levels of bilirubin, which I didn't know what that was before they told me, of course. But basically it causes jaundice. In infants it's actually really popular and it could lead to like brain damage and stuff. So I was freaking out. Like, you tell me, I've been a mother for 2 days, you come and you tell me there's something wrong with my baby. Like, I'm like, I was not okay. But they ended up putting her under like some really intense blue lights and they covered her eyes, of course, so that they don't have any damage. But they put her under these blue lights for basically an entire 24 hours. And by the time I was ready to discharge, she was fine. So like they checked her levels again and they were like normal. So we're good. We're good now. Thank God. So if you don't follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you don't know what AJ stands for yet. But I will tell you. Her name is Alana Jade. Elver and I actually have been talking about naming our child Alana since we were together for like, I don't even, like months, I think. I have screenshots from, I think, early 2013. We started dating in 2012. That's the name that we chose now that we actually have a child. And yeah, she's here. So I'm going to show her to you. Look at her. She's so perfect. So this is Alana. And just look at her. It's just, she kills me. This is her outfit. It says Daddy's Girl. I don't think you can see it. She's literally asleep. Doesn't care about anything that's happening right now. Like at all. Like whatsoever. Everybody is very like 50-50 on whether she looks like me or she looks like Elver. I personally think she looks like Elver, but a lot of people have said that she looks like me. You have to see her with her eyes open because like this doesn't do her justice. Her eyes, I think, are very like almondy like mine, but I think overall she looks like Elver. Anyways, that's all I really have for this video. I don't think I have anything else to say. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them below. I will definitely answer them for you. I'm just so happy to be back. I mean, I'm going to try to film as much as possible. I don't make any promises, of course, because she keeps me quite busy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. And actually, Alana has her own Instagram. My Instagram is TheKatieDanger. Her Instagram is TheBabyDanger. Baby spelled B-A-B-I-E. Because my name is K-A-T-I-E. Hello. So I'm going to leave all that information down below if you want to like follow her Instagram and like see all her baby pictures. I'm pretty much going to limit myself to only putting them on her Instagram because I feel like my Instagram is about makeup. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys again for being patient with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Hi friends, welcome back. So today I'm bringing you guys another video, and this is probably the least exciting video that I've ever filmed in my life.